Okay guys, I got Titan 8000 here, or this is actually 8500 electric start style. I'm going to run around real quick while I'm working on it, show you some of the main things to check out. If you're getting storm ready, you're just going to use it for a long period of time. So stuff you want to maintain, just look out for before you have to use it. So you'll be good to go through the longevity of it. Alright, I'm just going to make a quick sweep around the unit. First thing, I get calls about it all the time, people go to use it. Make sure if you like to start, you have your key. Believe it or not, it happens all the time. People go out to use their unit, no key in it, can't run it. Your receptacles, make sure they're in good conditions, not broken, cracked. Breakers all pushed in. So your breakers are popped, you're not going to be able to use your power, of course. Next thing, make sure your fuel shutoff valve is not leaking. When you go to use it, turn it on once you fill it up with fuel. If it is leaking, it's usually around this seam, or the actual bottom will break out over long periods of time if you had gas sitting in it. Next, you want to come around here. Your air filter here, it's been sitting for a long time. These can deteriorate. This one's still good, but if it is deteriorated, of course, you're going to have an issue with it sucking the foam through your carburetor, and it's going to cause problems. Next, come around here. You got an electric start unit, your battery. The gas units, the battery is just convenient for the actual starting of it. If you have a diesel and it's a remote start with a electric fuel pump, you do have to have a fully charged battery, or your fuel pump will not stay open, and therefore you won't get the fuel, and it's going to shut down every time the battery dies. Next, you come around here to the gen end, two things. It's going to be your DC voltage regulator, silver fin box, and your capacitor in this unit, half moon black box. DC voltage regulator is for strictly DC voltage, charging your battery and DC out on your panel. Check this, while it's running, you have a red lead coming off. Quick connect. Unplug it, take a DC tester. While the unit's running, put the test on the red lead to the ground. You should be showing 13 volts DC coming out. If you're not, your regulator's bad. But that's only going to put out power as long as your generator end is producing the correct amount of power. If your generator end is not producing power, look into this capacitor here. If your capacitor is cracked, bubbled, oozing gray stuff out of it, it's for sure bad. If it looks fine, you need to take it off, unplug these, get somebody to run a capacitance microfarad test on it. A lot of people in heating and air conditioning can do that, electrical engine shops. It's just a means of having the multimeter that can test for the microfarads. Then of course you want to make sure your oil's changed. They recommend every 12 hours in the oil. Your fill's here. You got a drain below on each side above this hole that's cut. I mean, I'm sure you'll be using it for long periods of time if you are using it for storm, but make sure you keep the oil changed. 10W30 goes in the gas units, 1540 or 1040 for the diesels. You don't keep it changed, your engine's going to seize up, and then you're going to have nothing for power. So, just a few of those things there. The duty cycle on them is they recommend about every 15 to 18 hours to let it cool down and rest, because these are air-cooled units. They do need to rest every now and then, or you have a risk of your engine getting too hot or your alternator end getting too hot and it burning up. So a normal unit, as far as running wise, has these have 5-gallon tanks. They run about 10 hours on about a half a load. So a half for this would be roughly about 4,000 watts of power. But if you're running full load maximum, you're only looking about 5 hours, so you want to keep a lot of fuel on standby for it. And like I said, if it stops producing power while you're using it throughout the longevity, you're going to want to look into that end, into that capacitor. It'll be the first and foremost thing to look into. That checks out. You do have diodes in there, but you really need to get to a shop to get those changed out. Other than that, it could be a receptacle lost continuity and you're not getting a good connection, or a breaker blew. But usually you can come over here and just check these out real quick and know right off. But hopefully this helps you out in keeping you up and going through the storms, or just for normal use on them. And If you need anything, you can always call the 1-800 number. It's 1-800-845-4141. You can ask for me or any of the other ladies up there, and we'd be glad to help you out, or if you needed any parts there. And one more thing, if you have gas, water in it, you got a drain here. It'll drain any of the water in the bottom of the carburetor out. This is an old style carburetor. The new ones actually have a bolt on the side that you can do the same thing, crack it open, let the fuel flush through it. If it's not starting at all, your main jet's most likely clogged up, and there's videos online of how to clean main jets out everywhere. I think we may have one on our website or our YouTube also. But alright, hopefully this helps you out.